Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe. So on the base of the sweet will and the mercy of Gurudev, we are reading quotes from Caitanya Charitamrita in Sri Sri Vilapa Kusumanjali, and today mainly the quotes are around Gopi Bhava. So this is an interesting theme, and I think we all need to understand very deeply what this Gopi Bhava means for our practical life also. So let's see what kind of quotes are there. Good appetite, Radhe Radhe. Yes, prasadam is everywhere. You can hear it, you can eat it, you can drink it. It's just everywhere. So the last verse was 67 we read. So now we are in verse number 68. And here I found a quote from Caitanya Charitamrita. But first let us hear the theme and then the quote. So, the theme, Rangamai Swamini floats on the wave of karma, holding your Rupa Manjari's arm, while I, Tulasi, walk anxiously behind her, watching her stumbling gait, afraid that she will trip or fall out of eagerness to meet Krishna, and ready to hold her then. When Swamini sees a blackish tamal tree on the way, she mistakes it for Krishna, and when she sees a golden vine entwining this tree, she mistakes it for a rival Gopi embracing him. You will help her out of her illusion, while I help Swamini meet with Shyam in a kunja house, which he adorns with his own bodily luster. The words Kama Taranga Rangam apply here to billowing waves of Madana Ras, the pinnacle of love of God, and not to material lust. The Tantras say, Premaiva Goparamanam Kama Ityagatam Pratam. The pure love of the gopis is known as lust, because the external activity appears to be the same. Nevertheless, there's complete absence here of desire for personal sense enjoyment. That's a deep, paradoxical secret. Now comes the quote. Jai Gurudev. Sahacha Gopira Brema Nahe Barakrita Kama Kama Krita Samye Tare Kohe Kama Nama. Caitanya Charitamrita. In this world, it is also noticeable that some activities appear the same externally, but have different targets. For instance, two persons may be picking flowers in a garden. One of them is doing it to gratify his own nose and the other is doing it to worship the Lord. The first person binds himself to this illusory world by striving for sense gratification, while the others awakens his dormant love of God by working within the realm of the Lord's Swarup Shakti. So here is made a very clear point, and actually all today, it's really like I saw the next quotes also, they all hint more or less to Gopi path actually. So what is the difference between our material lust and the lust of the gopis? So we know that the lust of the gopis is that they really want to make their beloved happy. They want to make Krishna happy. They are all working for his happiness, not for their own. So when they actually are standing there and making their eyes more beautiful with these eyeliners and putting some earrings so that they look more beautiful, they are not doing this for themselves. They are meditating in this moment just to do it for the pleasure of the Lord. So this makes the big difference. And in our practical life, like Anandadas Babaji is giving here such a wonderful example. For instance, when we pick flowers, we can see that this is very practical. Because we may go in the kitchen, two persons go in the kitchen, one is just cooking for his senses, but the other one is cooking for the senses of somebody else. The blue boy, together with Swamini. So it's a big difference, but you cannot see it from outside. One is material lust, and the other one is out of pure love. So in the same sentence, more after, there's another quote from Caitanya Caritamrita. The aspirant will feel ashamed when he realizes the difference between his careless way of life and the activities of the Goswamis. Sriman Mahaprabhu stood behind the Garuda pillar and viewed Lord Jagannath from there, bathing in his own tears. Garuda stambera tale, ache eka nimna kale, sekala bharilo ashru jale. Caitanya Charitamrita. Sri Gaura Sundara is Radha Bhavadya, enriched by Radha's mood, seeing himself meeting Krishna at Kurukshetra as a beggar woman. Although Krishna is here all in all, Swamini could not embrace him and hold him to her heart. What pain, what an anguish! Boundless bliss agitates the ocean of anguish as she thinks to herself, go to Braj, I want to see you in Braj. Raghunathas is the embodiment of Sriman Mahaprabhu's grace. His love in separation is natural. The devotees will greatly benefit by hearing and chanting about the stream of his worship. So that's an interesting point which is connected with the next quote. Where Srila Anandadas Babaji is saying that if a Raganuga devotee who is not blissfully and easily able to get a clear vision of his Siddhadeha, or who has difficulties with the practice of Smaran, should first of all chant the glories of Gopi Bhav, anxiously pray for Gopi Bhav, and strengthen the cultivation of Gopi Bhav within his heart by hearing, chanting, and remembering the verses of Srila Rupa Goswami's Utkali Kavalari and Karpanya Panchika Stotram, Sri Das Goswami's Vilapa Kusumanjali, and Sri Thakur Mahashaya's Prema Bhakti Chandrika and Pratana. It is certainly very difficult to cultivate Gopi Bhav within the heart if we cannot catch the right mood. So Sri Das Goswami writes that the main means to live in Braj and to serve the Sri Yugala there is to remember Sri Rupa and Sanatan with love. So it's very interesting that these quotes actually they are connected in a very interesting way. And now we will hear about a higher level of Gopi Bhav as we heard till now. And this is a quote from verse number 69. The meeting takes place in the Kundas Madan Sukata Kunj. Swamini's Hari, the enjoyer of the solitary grove, Radha's heart's friend, cannot be attained without taking exclusive shelter of Radha's lotus feet. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has said, Vracha Pura Vanitara, Charana Ashraya Sara, Koromana Ekanta Koriya. O mind, take exclusive shelter of the gopis of Braj. That is essential. Hari Vibhushita Keli Kunja means the Kunja was decorated by Hari's mere presence. Or Hari decorated this kunja with his own hands. While personally decorating the Tristing Kunja, Swamini's Hari thought, my Priyaji will be so eager to play certain pastimes with me after she sees how nicely I decorated this kunja. Adolescent Kishore Krishna is the transcendental youthful Cupid who is able to make the ordinary Cupid faint. Mounting the chariots of the gopis, he agitates Cupid. Jyoti Gopira Manorata Manamata Manamata Nama Dhare Madan Mohan. Caitanya Caritamrita. Hence, he is known as Madan Mohan, he who beautifies Radha's shoulder with his brilliant arm is our worshipable one. Radha Raman enjoys in the kunja. This innocent adolescence, Mukta Kaishora, of him makes Swamini restless. Swamini becomes mad when she subdues Shyam in their love play, but she still is unsatisfied, so she will teach him some new games. our hero is under her control, and Swamini appropriates him to her own use. Rupa Manjari and Tulasi are relishing the sweetness of this new pastime. This is the subject of the Gaudiya Vaishnava's meditation. Sri Jiva Goswami has written, "May Radha and Madhava's sweetness attack my heart so that we may not go astray." So we started up with Gopi Bhav. So on the base of Gopi Bhav, such a meditation is possible. How should the mind be concentrated on the sweet lila between Radha and her beloved when we have our own wishes and meditate on them? It's not possible. So that's why the platform of Gopi Bhav, at least I have to first reach. And then from that platform, such kind of meditation is possible. Because we can then freely concentrate who we want to satisfy. Otherwise, always it will move. So that's why Gopi Bhav is so important. Because if we don't have any wish anymore for our senses, for our gratification, then we can work for the satisfaction of the senses of Krishna together with our Swamini, through our Swamini. So the next quote I found is in verse number 72 of Shri Vilapa Kusumanjali. Of course, you're always invited to give some commentary, some feelings on that. Share something with us. There's always time for that. Please don't feel that you disturb. It's a richness you give to us when you share your feelings. It's mercy. So be merciful with us. Because Gurudev has so many mouths, all his disciples, he can not only through them, but especially to them he can speak. So please share with us. Otherwise I will go on, and if you find a point which you are very inspired, then please share. O Kanaka Gauri, golden girl, can I carefully and happily massage your lotus feet while Sri Rupa Manjari massages the lotus feet of the Prince of Braj, in whose arm you have placed your head? So this is the theme. The quote comes. Srila Anandadas writes in his notes, in his Swarupa Vesh, Sri Raghunath makes a bed of flowers for the Sri Yugala to play on in the Madan Sukada Kunj. So we know the Madan Sukada Kunj is in Radhakund. And then he brings them to the bed. Although the bed is made of stemless flowers, it will be able to tolerate the powerful motion of the love-making. When the aspirants greedily hear, chant about and meditate on the expertise in devotional service of the eternally perfect Kinkaris, they will become qualified to enter into Manjari Bhav Sadhana. Now comes the quote. Se Gopi Bhavamrita Yara Lobahoi, Veda Dharma Lokatvachi Se Krishna Bhajai. Anyone who becomes greedy for the nectar of Gopi Bhav will give up social and Vedic dogmas to worship Krishna. So again, Gopi Bhav, because it's the base, the Gopi Bhav. Only one wish in the mind, how to please the senses of Krishna, in our case, through Swamini. Actually, it's not only in our case, but we are maybe a little bit more aware through the mercy of Gurudev that we need Swamini for that. But actually, they all need Swamini for that, isn't it? Let's take an example. Mother Yashoda. She wants to feed Krishna the best, isn't it? Can she do this without our Radharani? If Radharani would not go every day to Nandagram and cook for her beloved, on the table of Krishna, some rasa would be not there. Special rasic food would not be there. Would Krishna be satisfied? Could Yashoda Ma satisfy Krishna in that way fully, without Radha's help? No, she cannot. What about the friends? When Radharani comes back, when Krishna comes back, herding the cows, Radharani is standing on the moon tower, and Krishna is watching there first. Otherwise, he would actually collapse. No more power. He is missing Radharani the whole day. He is telling his friends, "Oh, I will look for the nice environment of Braj." Where he's going? He's going to meet Radha. Without Radha, he could not go through the day. So would it be possible, without Radharani, that Krishna would play with his friends and he would be satisfied? Clearly we can say, no. Without Radha, Krishna can never, ever be satisfied. So everybody needs her mercy. So we need to come to Gopi Bhav, to connect with the highest person in Gopi Bhav, the highest person in Mahabhav. We have to learn from her, otherwise our meditation can never be successful. That's why Gopi Bhav is so important for us. It's the base. When we understand that without the Swamini's mercy we can do nothing. But there's also another side, which is very sweet, wonderful sweet. Because all these games between Radha and Mohan can never happen if there wouldn't be the manjaris and the kinkaris. Without them, not possible. Who would take care of Swamini? We just heard when she's going to Nandagram to cook. On the way, who is taking care of her? That she don't stumble, that she don't fall. Who is bringing her to the kitchen that she can cook for Krishna? Who is helping her in the kitchen? Who is giving her a stable mood that she can do this seva? All this seva is done by the manjaris and kinkaris. So what a mercy. And this possibility is given to us by Caitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the greatest gift ever given to the jivas. The highest level possible to reach for the jivas. And again, this statement is very interesting. Anyone who becomes greedy for the nectar of Gopi Bhav will give up social and Vedic dogmas to worship Krishna. Anyone. And the worship is, of course, in allegiance to the gopis, and it is called Anugamya Gopijana. And the practitioner of Manjari Bhav is a gopi who follows Sri Rupa Manjari and Rati Manjari, Gopijana. The aspirant should lay the ground in their hearts for the cultivation of Gopi Bhav, a new Raganuga devotee, who is not blissfully and easily able to get a clear vision of his Siddha Deha, or who has difficulties with the practice of Smaran, should first of all hear and chant the glories of Gopi Bhav, anxiously pray for Gopi Bhav, and strengthen the cultivation of Gopi Bhav within his heart by hearing, chanting, and remembering the verses of Srila Rupa Goswami's Utkalika Valari and Kapanya Panchika Stotram, Sri Das Goswami's Vilapa Kusumanjali, and Sri Thakur Mahashaya's Prema Bhakti Chandrika and Pratana. So Srila Anandadas Babaji is giving us this important advice. And we remember how many times Gurudev was standing on this point. First, we need this Gopi Bhav. We need this Gopi Bhav. So the next quote in verse number 74 of Sri Sri Vilapa Kusumanjali from Caitanya Caritamrita. It's about the bliss in the prayer also, in love, in separation. E prema yara mone tara vikrama se jane yeno visamrita ekatra milan. Only a person who has this love in the heart can understand its power. It is like the blending of poison and nectar. I just remember in this connection that Shiva's wife, I think it was Parvati, she asked, how is it with this pain in separation? How we can understand? And Shiva said, Shiva, if you take all happiness and all distress of all worlds and put them together, you cannot compare it to even one drop of that pain Radha feels in separation, or the happiness when they come together. It's not even a drop. So it's not understandable from a material view. So again, we need Gopi Bhav first to get this feeling, to understand. You cannot say understand, to get this feeling, because it's not understanding in the form of the mind will understand something. The heart will understand something. Hence, there's also great bliss in love and separation. So it's the greatest bliss in love and separation. And we have this practical experience when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, and he was completely in bliss in separation, although at the same time he was suffering in separation. So we stay in connection, and the next quote is in verse number 75. And here comes something special. I mean, everything is very special here, but this is special. Actually, it's a quote not from Caitanya Caritamrita, it's a quote from Dvitiya Chaitanyashtakam. But it's also describing, of course, Chaitanya Lila. So I had to take that also. And here's written, being curious to relish all the limitless rasa of love of one of his beloveds in Braj, Sri Radha, Krishna stole her luster and covered his own blackish splendor with it, revealing this new golden lustre to everyone. Let this Lord Chaitanya show us his great mercy So that's a wonderful statement, and it will go on more. But actually, already that sentence is so wonderful. He's covering his blackish splendor with the golden luster. In the next sentence, let him show us his great mercy, because this is the sign. When he's shining golden, the mood of Radha is shining out of him. This is the sign. Oh, now he has to give something very special. Now he's not in his ordinary mood. Just as Krishna stole butter in his childhood, the Gopis' clothes in his early youth, the Gopis' hearts in his full youth, and finally, Sri Radhika's heart, he went on by stealing her luster and her mood to become Gaura and to plunder the storehouse of rasa and prema. Such a wonderful description, isn't it? It's the nature of Krishna to steal. He's the most famous thief, isn't it? And here is such a description. And he is stealing Radharani's luster and mood to become Gaura and to plunder the storehouse of rasa and prema. I desire the mercy of that thief. He personally blessed Sitanath, Advaita Prabhu, by saying, and this is now from Sri Caitanya Chandrodaya, Act number 10. O Acharya, I am always absorbed in my blissful, luscious pastimes in Vrindavan, and I will give you all spiritual bodies suitable for joining me in these Vrindavan pastimes. Gurudev, did you say something to me or no? Oh, he's talking with Satchidananda, I think. O Acharya, it's a very interesting point. I always absorbed in my blissful, luscious pastimes in Vrindavan. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, I'm always absorbed in these pastimes. And I will give you all spiritual bodies suitable for joining me in these Vrindavan pastimes. He's telling here, I will give you all bodies suitable to joining me in these pastimes. That one remaining great duty I will swiftly perform. Some devotees are in a mood of servitude. Some are fixed in a fraternal mood. Some are fixed in the love of Radha and Madhava. Others in the Lord of Dwaraka, and again others in my different dissensions, such as Rama and Nishinga. I will lock you all in the chains of my love and give you attachment to Vrindavan. With this attachment to Vrindavan, the luscious devotional service called Manjari Bhav is being indicated. So here we can see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself actually is saying, I don't mind in what kind of bhav you are, I will give you Manjari Bhav anyway. I will give you the highest, precious gem of servitude. Isn't that astonishing? So hearing Mahaprabhu's blessing, Sri Sitanath replied, by your wish, we may attain whatever you want in any other abode or body. We will eternally remember our origin in your wonderful pastimes. From this verse it is understood that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas simultaneously remember the pastimes of Sri Sri Gaura Govinda. This was all described by the one who sucked the two of Mahaprabhu, the great poet, Kavi Kanapura. Srila Thakur Mahasaya has said, Heta Gaurachandra Pabo Seta Radha Krishna. Here I will get Gaurachandra and there Radha Krishna. Sri Raghunath, who is an associate of Gaura, is eternally weeping on the bank of Radhakund. Fortunate souls can hear that even now. Then again, he is always absorbed in the rasa of devotional service to the Yugala Kishore. So we heard so many statements now from Caitanya Caritamrita about the importance of Gopi Bhav. And now we hear what kind of Gopi Bhav Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually giving us. And we know Unnat Ujjvala. This is actually the present of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is giving it to everyone. So here it's very clear, if somebody has this question, where it is written actually that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this? Here it's written. Here it's stated, black on white. Actually, there are many points where we can read it actually in different forms, but here it's very, very clear stated. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said what he wants to give. So the next statement is in verse number 76. Amara darshane Krishna poila etu sukha e sukha gopira prapula angamukha. Caitanya Caritamrita Adilila 4. There is one more text, but I will not read. I will read in English. When the gopis go to see Krishna, they don't desire happiness for themselves. They don't desire happiness. And this increases their happiness millions of times. This is actually the soul of Gopi Bhav. Here is described what is actually the soul of Gopi Bhav. You don't want to have anything for yourself, and this increases the happiness millions of times. They feel 1,000,000 times more happiness than Krishna feels when he sees them. They feel 1,000,000 times more happiness than Krishna feels when he sees them. What a point. So who is in a better state actually? It must be love. It must be prema. They are not looking for their own happiness, and that exactly increases their happiness. There's only one explanation for this paradox. The joy of the gopis lies in Krishna's happiness. The gopis think, Krishna obtained so much pleasure by seeing me. This thought makes her bodies and faces blossom. When Krishna is happy, then Radharani is happy. And when both Radha and Krishna are happy, the Sakhis are happy. But when Radharani comes out as the best, then the Kinkaris are happy. What a wonderful description. It's all Gopi Bhav, but different levels. So, and now, because we were speaking about the levels of Gopi Bhav, we hear some example. Oh Vrinde! Sorry, I forgot to give you verse number 78. And there are two quotes of Caitanya Caritamrita. "Oh, Vrinda, where have you come from?" Vrinda replied, "From Hari's food source." Radha, "Where is he?" Vrinda, "In the forest by your lake." Radha, "What he is doing there?" Vrinda, "He is learning how to dance." Radha, Who is his teacher?" Vrinda, "Your very form, which is like a dancing girl, whom he sees in each direction." He is simply wandering around, dancing behind you. Krishna had his own experience. Radhika Prema Guru Ami Shishyanat Sata Anamananiche Nachaya Udbhat. Caitanya Caritamrita Adilila 4, 124. Sri Radhika's love is the teacher, and I am the dancing pupil. Thus, she always makes me dance in different ways. Krishna has made a mistake in his play, for which he gets beaten by Radhika's play lotus. Rasamaya Krishna cannot even ascertain the value of this Rasika beating. How much pleasure he rebukes are giving. How much pleasure her rebukes are giving him. So another statement from Caitanya Caritamrita: Priya yadi mana koroye vartsana veda stuti hoite hare se moramana. Caitanya Caritamrita Adilila 4:26. My beloved is angry with me and chastises me, that takes my mind away from the reverential hymns of the Vedas. In that field, who can measure the ecstasy of this Rasika chastisement in his pastime? Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj's honey-sweet statements are fully justified. Krishnake Kurai Amara Madhupam Nirantara Puna Kore Krishnera Sarvakam. Another statement of Caitanya Caritamrita. He makes Krishna drink the honey beverage named Shyamarasa, erotic flavors. Thus she always fulfills all of Krishna's desires. No one else than Sri Radha is so expert in making Sri Govinda, who is himself the enchanter of millions of cupids, relish the honey named Shyamarasa or Shringara Rasa in so many ways. So now we can see what is the highest state of Gopi Bhava and who is representing that. Only Radharani, only our Swamini. She is the limit. And if we want to go in Gopi Bhava, we need her help on any stage. But if we want to reach the highest, of course we need more her expertise. Shyam Sundara can simply not imagine how Akandara Savallabha Varsha Bhavanavi Sri Radha who is the complete Rasika lady love, the complete Rasika lady love, complete, serves him by giving him this indescribable rasa. So he himself cannot imagine how much she is giving him indescribable rasa. And now comes the point. What this has to do with us? Somebody asked sometimes. What it has to do with us? When Tulasi sees Swamini striking Shyam with her Lila Kamala, she giggles, covering her mouth with her veil. And her accompanying manjaris laugh with her. So we are with her. And we feel with her. We laugh with her. We cry with her. We have all the feelings with her because we are the shadows. And Swamini, by her mercy, is giving us her Mahabhav. She is giving us. Where our hero has failed and why Swamini is not satisfied is indicated by this meaningful giggling, and this brings our hero back to his senses. Tulasi means to say, when Krishna sees me giggling, he will understand his own fickleness and where he has failed. So the manjari is actually giving a hint to Krishna where he failed. What a seva! The kinkaris are the embodiment of devotional service. They don't display any other activity than service. The aspirant will become qualified to serve Rasamaya Shyam and Rasamaya Swamini by following in their footsteps. So this is the gift, the highest gift. So the next quote I found is in verse number 18, and there are more than one quote. Actually, it's about the defeating of Hari in a dice game. Oh Devi, when you defeat Hari in a dice game, you snatch away his flute. When will you throw it to me so that I can hide it somewhere? So now that we have heard about Gopi Bhav and where it can lead to, there are some examples. The highest form of Gopi Bhav, Kinkari. And there we help our Swamini to fulfill desires of Mohan which he could not even imagine. In a vision, Sri Raghunath relishes Sri Sri Radha Madhava's Vana Vihara and the sweetness of their love songs. And when the vision disappears, he feels great pain. He is completely absorbed in Sri Radharani. Other than she, no one can soothe the pain of his separation. Sri Radha embodies the quintessence of the Ladini Shakti. Ladini Koraya Krishna Asvadhana Dana, Ladini Dharayai Kore Bhaktira Poshana. Caitanya Caritamrita. The Ladini potency makes the Lord Rasika Shaker, the king of relishes, and gives him the relish of Lila. And when it enters the devotees' hearts, it gives them the bliss of Krishna's devotional service. Sri Radhika is the essential portion of that Ladini potency, and she delights both the Lord and the devotees in this way. So here it is very clear to which state one can grow by the mercy of Swamini. Sri Radhika is the essential portion of that Ladini potency, and she delights both the Lord and the devotees in this way. She makes the Lord Rasika Shaker. Without Radharani, there is no Rasika Shaker. Without Ladini potency and without the help of the Kinkaris, that cannot come to its limit. We heard yesterday about this, and actually I want to make this connection again after that quote. But first, the second quote in this verse, Atma Sukha Dukkha Gopira Nahika Vichar Krishna Sukha Heta Chesta Mano Vyavaha. Krishna Lagi Ara Sab Kori Paridyaga Krishna Sukha Hetu Kore Shuta Anuraga. Caitanya Caritamrita. The gopis don't consider their own happiness and distress. Their pure love makes them act just for Krishna's pleasure, like our Swamini. For Krishna they give up everything. Their pure love causes them just to act for Krishna's happiness. And Sri Radharani is again the greatest of them all. Because she delights all of Krishna's senses with her beautiful attributes, Sri Radhika shines like Sri Radhika alone. She shines like she only can shine. No comparison possible. She cannot be compared with anyone else, indeed, because they have taken shelter of Sri Radhika's lotus feet. This great love also infuses in the maidservants. They don't know anything else in this world but the happiness of the divine couple. So that's Gopi Bhava. And now,
again repeat this last one. Please repeat this, what you read.
Yes. Because she delights all of Krishna's senses with her beautiful attributes, Sri Radhika shines like Sri Radhika alone. She cannot be compared with anyone else, indeed. Because they have taken shelter of Sri Radhika's lotus feet, this great love is also infused in the maidservants. They don't know anything else in this world.
Here.
Sorry?
This is Manjari Bhava, not Gopi Bhava.
Yes, this is Manjari Bhava.
Yes.
This great love is also infused in the maidservants. They don't know anything else in this world but the happiness of the divine couple. And on this state of consciousness, we heard yesterday some wonderful story in verse number 89 of Vilapa Kusumanjali, where the maidservant actually is bringing back Krishna to his senses with a song. She's learning a song from Swamini to bring him back to his senses. These confidential and wonderful songs cannot be heard by anyone else but Swamini's most intimate maidservants. They are meant to be sung by Tulasi, while Swamini is alone with Shyam, and Shyam has fainted out of amorous ecstasy. With their extraordinary beauty and sweetness, the Braj Sundaris are able to astonish Sri Krishna. Hence, their love is called Samartarati. The love of a pure devotee has such extraordinary power and glory that it astonishes Sri Krishna. Now comes the quote, Bhaktera Brahmachesta Diki Krishnera Chamatkara. The love of the Braj Sundaris is of the highest class. Hence, their Samartarati is most astonishing. The sweetness of the love of Srimati Radharani, who is endowed with Madanakya Mahabhav, is astonishing Krishna so much that it makes him faint. Even Swamini is then baffled and unable to find the means to reawaken him. Only her maidservants that are well trained in the art of singing divine songs are able to break this swoon. No one else. This is what distinguishes the Kinkaris from the Sakhis. This is the very confidential service rendered by the maidservants. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. And yesterday we heard about that. So if we see that level, actually Radharani and Krishna can only let themselves completely fall into that rasa, that sweet exchange of love, fully, to the full extent, because they know that their Kinkaris are there. Swamini has full faith that the Kinkari will bring Shyam back to consciousness. And only because the Kinkaris are there, they can let themselves fall completely in that pure love, this Mahabharata, this madness in love.
One thing comes to me when you say only.
Yes, please, Gurudev.
Only is so important that we save our diversions. Even to know the details than Radhika. You see, I'm a Kinkari, I'm Radha Dasi. Why I will know more than out of Radhika? What is the use of that information who is not coming to my only goal? Is all diversion from me. This is the mercy. Because we are so much scattered in gathering information, we are never only for one pointed. And without only for one pointed, it's not possible. If you see, Dronacharya is tasting taste. Why? He approved Arjuna because he was fixed only in the eyes of the bird, where he has to arrow, shooting arrow. That only is so important, you are telling. When we only fixed in Radhika and Radhika's qualities and not want to go out than this, that is Radhadas. If you see what is the problem, we go to Krishna, we think that we can serve Krishna. What you are explaining today, I see nobody can serve Krishna without Radhika. So that was the one blockage that I want to serve Krishna. Then which mood I want to serve? As a God, not a Radha's Krishna. It's a different thing. And this is not clear when we not come to Vrindavan. I see Krishna, my Krishna. It's impossible without Alladini. Alladini is making happy to Krishna. He is the pleasure-giving potency to Krishna and taking care of his Dasi Manjaris, who is only for us. So it's not that we are not Krishna devotee. We go through the only Radhika to see his lover. It's a different, only this is happening. We add one plus to see Krishna more details. But Krishna is not going out. But when we come to only, then it happens. Now we have to decide we want to do this only or we want to scatter myself because of the Krishna. He make us scattered. You know, he's all creation, all details of that. Because he's the God. And I like him. I respect God because I will get something benefit. I have to change myself. We want to be only think and meditate for Radhika. All subjects will be more clear, more details clear than before. All scripture is dancing near him because this scripture is Krishna, is all written for the Krishna, God. And this, when that realization comes, life change. Maybe in this life or next life or next life. But the day it will come, all is a crystal clear. Then we need sambandha, relation. That we need, because of the only, we need relations, our feelings, love. Without feeling, there is no love. You explain very nicely. Gopi Bhava means who is mad for Krishna or sadhak bhava is this who is mad for material thing. This is the difference between gopi bhava and sadhak bhava. Material body nature. And gopi bhava means to know myself that I am living soul. Then it can see to his super soul. And when we come to the only, we see all crystal. That is Dasi. Only my son. I have to decide what. I want only to have, I want details information, and I want to research that information. Where is right and what is wrong. This is the mercy of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Because one thing you say, the black covered to golden. Since there is only love, only sea is there.
The highest form of Mahabhav is shining out.
You see, only that is shining, and what is black is not looking, it is not understanding come. When the only I see golden, then we research in the heart is the black city.
All the dark character is covered by the golden shining. So
Mahaprabhu gives so much gift where we can do like this. What you are researching is a so beautiful thing. When we decide only to understand. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you, my dear Gurudev. This is all your mercy. Without you, I cannot do.
I'm listening. I'm your student here.
Yes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also listening about Ramananda Roy. Yeah.
Learning from. You inspired me. I share that.
So this is actually the wonderful thing that this prema, this Mahabhav is always, this prema is always going in a circle. Because you give me your love, it's able, I have this possibility to share something. This is your mercy. And you think this is the mercy of your Gurudev coming to that mouth and so on. And we are all like, how is it, dancing on one point. Rasa is dancing, devotees dancing, Prema is dancing. All dancing.
Prema makes to dance Rasa. Krishna.
Boys.
Yeah,
Prema makes Krishna dance, makes devotees dance, and dance itself. All three dancing on. Wow.
Yes, and Gurudev has this disco shirt already for dancing.
When we start looking this, that we are living in the past time. And Rasa means juicy, what we are searching for in material world is not there. Juicy is this. This is the juice. Nectar. What I am searching for. What others searching for. Only juice. And it comes like this. And
this
we
is the real nectar.
When we join this dancing, then we are enter in the divine pastime, divine Nitya Leela. Nitya Leela is always we are. We make sure we are engineering, but always dancing for the and he is moving.
And here's written, Gurudev, this is the limit of human perfection.
Wow.
It's the limit.
Limit of human.
The limit of human perfection. Nothing higher than the great gift of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
Limit of human perfection, and the human can understand, but animal will never understand. If we are human, then we will understand it. If my animal consciousness is too high, then we have to become human to understand. What is the difference between animal and human?
Eating, sleeping, and defending is the animal.
Eating,
sleeping, and defending.
And human means?
You can actually go higher with your thoughts. You can understand more higher things. Also, God.
And come to this point, what Jesus so to the soul, heart, and feelings.
So we can understand that we are soul.
Honestly, when I see the picture of Jesus and he explained me, then I confirm it. Before I am not doubtful. We have to, not doubtful, we have to fix it that we are human. We have to reach to the highest. We are not animals that we live in eating, sleeping, and defending.
So you brought us this mercy of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why now it's possible for us to reach the limit of human perfection.
This you are telling, not to blame me. My Gurudev is talking to your mouth. I see his divine mercy through you.
I see this divine mercy to you.
We want to dance together.
Prema is dancing, makes Krishna dance, and makes the devotees dance. All three are dancing at one place. Jai Ho. Without Bhava, one cannot taste rasa.
Oh, so good. And who can give Bhava?
Bhava Mai? Without Bhava, we cannot taste rasa. Without rasa, there can be no development of Bhava. And without Bhava and rasa,
See, it is also beautiful. Beautiful. Explain this.
So we have to start from Bhavadeya. Bhavadeya means Sitadeya. Spiritual body, Bhava, feeling, spiritual feelings, Bhavadeya is our eternal body. So the material body can only feel because the soul is inside giving feelings, giving consciousness. With Bhava, it starts. Without Bhava, we can never taste rasa, spiritual flavor. Because without feeling, we cannot go into sambandha. If you don't love anyone, if you are not interested in any exchange of love with anyone, no sambandha, we can never ever taste rasa. But without this rasa, there can be never any development of bhava, up to Mahabhava. Development of bhava means we want to grow in our bhava up to Mahabhava, because this is actually In Vrindavan, everyone has Mahabhav. Even the plants are serving in that mood of Radha. So without starting by Bhava, feelings, we cannot taste any rasa which is coming out of Sambandha. So without rasa, we cannot develop the Bhava, and without Bhava and rasa, we cannot feel Ananda. That means Ananda is that what makes the soul actually living. The food of the soul, the, how you say, tiefere Sinn, the Sinn, the deep meaning of living actually. Why we are living, what we are living for. We are living for Ananda. If we are not getting any Ananda, we are not living. The soul will not want to live without Ananda. And everything starts with Bhava.
Soul cannot live without Ananda, means happiness. We are searching only this Ananda. What you say in English, I don't know.
Yes.
Bliss.
Bliss, yes.
Searching for the bliss.
In the wrong places.
And without feeling, without juicy, there is no bliss. But you are wasting your time. Say yes. While traveling with giving Ananda.
So without Bhava, one cannot taste rasa, spiritual flavor.
Is it
Without
complicated to remember or what?
No, it's simple. It's open.
This is complicated this is philosophy. It's complicated to understand. It's a natural. It's a nature. It's happening now to me in human body. Why we are suffering? Because we have no feeling. If you see this box, he has no feeling. I become box. What will happen to this box? I will use. I will throw in garbage. You want to go in garbage? No problem. But you have to remove this no feeling nature, right or not? We are not different than box because we have no feeling like a box.
And the funny thing is, Gurudev, that everybody nowadays wants to be happy without any relationship and without feelings. Playing computer and thinking this is giving Ananda happiness?
No. Playing also. Peter, Sukracharya. This is the Sukracharya. No more easy. Everyone keeping like this.
Yes.
He don't want to leave this Sukracharya.
So people in general are going exactly in the other direction. They try to quit their feelings. No Ananda possible. No happiness possible without feelings.
But to block this, we take wine. That we are so much suffering without no feeling, we take wine or drugs.
Yes,
But
nowadays so many drugs, yes.
if we add in wine tea also, only tea, then different circumstances will tea wine. Wine is there, tea on the end, but tea. Wine. I don't minus anything. Add one word on the
Drink the wine.
divine. Drink divine. Then feeling has to come. And when you will taste divine, you will not come for wine.
So Gurudev, that means if we start with Bhav and invest a little bit of our feelings, then in the exchange, spiritual exchange, sambandha, we can develop our Bhav.
One devotee is sitting who is first time sitting here. He will not understand English.
So when we invest our feelings in the relationship with the person on a spiritual platform, and we exchange our feelings, then these feelings, they can grow. More feelings will grow. More clear feelings, spiritual feelings will grow. And these feelings will lead to bliss, to happiness, because it's on a spiritual platform.
Which one? The relation has to be with Swami or with Krishna. That's it. Material platform, nothing we can receive it.
Gurudev, first we need a relation with a person who is very near to Radha, like you.
I'm not near. By your association, this happened in my life.
And by mercy.
I can be useful that she marked us. She accepts. Without mercy of the devotee of her, is not possible.
This is the point, and such persons are so lovely. They will accept all our shortcomings, and they will not even talk about that. They will accept us like we are and love us and bring us to the love which is on the highest state by their mercy. Because love means mercy. Love always contains mercy. And this is my experience with you. You gave so much mercy. And then the growing in life is actually automatically possible. Just to be natural. We stay where we stay. We are where we are. We are loved in any moment. And just to realize that and feel that through the association of such devotees will automatically start the way in the right direction. It's so easy and natural. And this mercy is given by Caitanya Mahaprabhu, which himself is love in person.
Yes.
So Gurudev, it's very easy. We just have to open our hands for the mercy which is already there.
Yes. Yeah, my hand is open, give me.
Thank you, Gurudev. And thank you all devotees here for your mercy and kindly bless me that Swamini's mercy will flood my life.
Yeah.
Jai Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govinda.